Once in a quiet little town nestled near rolling hills, there lived a young man named Ethan Carter. From the outside, Ethan's life seemed ordinary. He had a modest apartment, a part-time job at a local bookstore, and a few loyal friends. But inside, his mind was a storm of ideas, stories, and dreams. Ethan longed to become a great writer, to craft tales that would move people. But there was one problem. He could never stick with anything. Some days, he would sit at his small desk and write 2 pages of a story that seemed destined to be a masterpiece, only to abandon it the next day. He tried keeping a journal, starting with fierce dedication, only to leave it gathering dust after a mere 3 days. Weeks passed, months passed. His dream remained alive in his heart, but his actions were scattered, like puzzle pieces that would never fit together. One evening, frustrated and disheartened, Ethan wandered down to the river that ran behind the town. The water glimmered under the fading sunlight, rippling gently as if inviting him to pause. There, on a large boulder by the riverbank, he noticed an old man carefully chiseling intricate shapes into the stone. Ethan stopped, mesmerized. How could such a delicate tool make a mark on such a solid, unyielding rock? Gathering his courage, Ethan approached. "Sir," he asked, "how long have you been working on this rock?" The old man looked up with calm, knowing eyes and a gentle smile. "Every day," he said, "for 1 hour, for the past 2 years." Ethan's jaw dropped. 2 years? With just a small chisel? Didn't you ever get tired or lose hope? The old man chuckled softly, wiping the dust from his hands. "Son," he said, "the chisel alone could never shape this stone. But my consistency, my daily effort, that's what makes the impossible possible. The rock doesn't change with one strike, but every strike counts. It's not the force of a single blow, but the repetition of many that shapes it." Those words struck Ethan harder than the chisel ever could strike the stone. That night, he returned to his tiny apartment, heart pounding with determination. He realized that trying to write an entire novel at once had been his mistake. Instead, he made a simple commitment. He would write 1 page every single day, no excuses. The first week felt exhilarating. Ideas flowed freely, sentences danced on the paper, and Ethan's imagination seemed limitless. But soon, doubt crept in like a shadow. Some nights he felt exhausted, other mornings uninspired. The old words of the chiseling man echoed in his mind. Every strike counts. Even on his hardest days, Ethan wrote. A sentence, a paragraph, sometimes a page that barely made sense. But he wrote. Slowly, the pages began to pile up. 50 pages, 100 pages, 200. The story, once fragmented in his mind, was taking form. 2 years passed. By now, Ethan had completed his first full manuscript. Excited, he sent it to publishers, but one rejection followed another. Doubt returned, whispering, "Maybe you're not good enough." But Ethan remembered the river, the old man, the chisel. Consistency. Persistence. He kept writing, refining, submitting. Another story. Another manuscript. Finally, one day, a small publishing house agreed to take a chance on him. His book was released, and slowly, word spread. People were drawn to his stories, moved by the depth of his characters and the beauty of his words. Ethan Carter, the young man who had once abandoned every attempt, became known as the writer who transformed his dream into reality 1 page at a time. Years later, Ethan stood at a literary festival in New York City, addressing a hall full of aspiring writers. Cameras flashed, lights beamed down, but his voice remained calm, steady, and powerful. Success, he said, does not come from what you do once in a while. It comes from what you do every single day. Like the drops of water that carve valleys, or the chisel that shapes stone, small, steady efforts, when repeated consistently, create wonders. If you feel a spark of inspiration today, nurture it. Don't let it fade. Write 1 page. Paint 1 stroke. Take 1 step. Because your success isn't built in a day, it's built every single day. And with that, Ethan smiled, glancing at the river that flowed through his memory, remembering the old man and his chisel. The boy who once scattered his dreams like broken puzzle pieces had finally learned the secret. Consistency beats talent, effort beats luck, and persistence shapes destiny.